Hi, so in this video, we are going to cover the last chapter of the first unit, which is the scope of physics. So the last chapter is about significant figures and the rules of them. Now we're going to look at some of the rules of significant figures, in which we declare some of the answers or some of the answers. Now, looking at the first rule, our first rule says that all non-zero numbers are non-significant. For example, 1, 2 or 3. Even 123 itself has three significant figures, which is 1 itself and 2 and 3. Little test for you. Pause the video and guess the answer for yourself. And the question for you is, how many significant figures are in 1234? Alright, so the number of significant figures in 1234 is obviously 4, as all non-zero numbers are significant. Now moving on to our next rule, which is zeros between significant numbers are significant as well. For example, just as we reviewed before, that 1234 has four significant figures. For example, if a zero comes right here, let me write it now, it becomes 12,000. A zero here, 12,034. Now here there are five significant figures, as the zero here is in between these two significant numbers, or you can say these four significant numbers. So another test for you, and I'm gonna let you guess that how many significant figures are in 1230, and how many significant figures are in 1230. So alright, so the number of significant figure in the first number is 4, as all non-zero numbers are significant, but this 0 is non-significant as it is not between the significant numbers. And in the second number, which is 12,030, there are 4 significant figures as well, but in this case this 0 is significant while this 0 isn't significant because it is after the whole numbers, and this 0 is significant because it comes in between the three whole numbers. Now moving on to our next rule, which says that zeros before and after decimal are non-significant. Zeros before decimal is a 0 like this, so this 0 is, for example, not significant. Now zeros after that are not significant as well, but if in case there is a number here, let's say 1 or 3 or both of them, they are significant because they are whole numbers, but these four zeros are non-significant. Let's consider another case, which is 0.0145. Now in this case there are a total of three significant figures, which is 145. Another test for you, and you to guess that how many significant figures are in this number. Alright, so there are actually four significant figures in this number, as these two zeros are non-significant while the whole numbers after these zeros are significant, and the number of whole numbers is 4. So there are four significant numbers in this whole number. Moving on to our next rule, which says that zeros after whole numbers are non-significant. Whole numbers are all non-zero numbers. For example, 12,300, that's a whole number, and what it says that after these three whole numbers, the zeros after that are non-significant. For example, this part is non-significant. Let's consider something like 13 million. Alright, I'm writing 13 million over here. So in this case, only the 1 and 3 are significant, and the rest of the numbers or zeros are non-significant. And the test for you to guess is that you have to tell me how many whole numbers, how many significant numbers are in this whole number. Alright, so there are actually four significant figures, which are the whole numbers itself, which is 1, 3, 2 and 5. Now moving on to our last rule, which says that zeros after whole number zeros are significant. What does this actually means? That zeros after whole number zeros. Whole number zeros is, for example, 12,300. Now if, for example, there's a decimal point after here, if there's a decimal over here, then automatically these zeros become significant. If there isn't a decimal, for example, if this figure if this number would have been 12,300, it wouldn't have been significant, these two zeros. But when there's a decimal here, now these zeros will become significant as well. And let's say there is 0125 here, so in this case this zero would also become significant, as it is coming is in between these whole numbers. So in this case the zeros within the decimal or whole number range are significant. And that's all from the video, and that was the last chapter of whole unit. If you have any sort of query or questions, you can ask me, and I'll make sure to answer it. Make sure to like it if you have learned, and subscribe. Thank you.